I've been asked to talk a little bit about negative numbers because they seem like a non-intuitive concept really for most people. But I want to show you that they're really not all that bad. And I think the first way to probably start with that is with the concept of absolute values. And you guys have seen these, and you might be wondering why all absolute values turn into positive numbers, right? Why they always turn into positive numbers. Well, I guess I just want to say that positive numbers are just what we use as our natural numbers, right? Um, which I just rename and call them the human numbers, right? The reason is because these are all the numbers that we use to measure things. If you measure a distance, it is in the positive number system. If you measure any time, it's always positive, right? Unless you're talking about history, going back in time, it's just a positive system. So the way I think about it is like sort of like a black hole, right? Center of the universe. And I guess the reason I do that is because black holes remind me of zero, right? The number zero. And actually, zero is not really a number, it's just a concept. Zero just means nothingness, where nothing exists. So maybe that might help you think of why I think of it as a black hole. It's where nothingness is. And it's actually where all the number lines or all the measuring systems start from. And we call that our human measuring system, right? And but to show you like what absolute value is, I'll do it over here. If I wanted to say the absolute value of something like my favorite number, not most people's favorite number, but the number 13, well, the absolute value of 13 is not just the number 13. What it really represents is the distance that 13 represents, the quantity of 13. What I mean by that is if you start at 0 and you go out all the way to 13, you measure out, you go all the numbers through all the numbers and you get to 13. What the absolute value really does is it measures this whole distance to 13, right? Right? It's not just, forgetting about all these numbers here. When and when it gets to 13, it just says, oh, okay, the absolute value is just this number here. No, it's this whole distance, right? So, yeah, we have this positive number system, but maybe there are a lot more number systems out there that we don't know about. Maybe there's this alien number system. Maybe there is, another number system out here somewhere, another galaxy, and maybe this one out here is the mirror to our system. We call that the negative number system. And maybe this number out here is another one. I don't know. Maybe I'll put the negative number system. I'll put it in its own little color, just so we get the idea that it's one that we use, but it's kind of the mirror image of this positive number system. Okay, so maybe this one out here is the star world, right? And we call this one the moon world. And this one out here is the alien race world or something like that, right? This is the number system that the aliens use out there. So going with this number 13, if we measure out 13 out to here from the black hole, this is our 13. And these guys measure out 13 also, right? Except this one's 13 positive numbers. This one's 13 star numbers. And this one is 13 moon numbers. And this one is 13 negative numbers. This one is 13 alien numbers, right? We measure out all those distances. Well, let's see what they get. Here's the human number measured out to 13. Here's the star number measured out to 13. Here's the moon number measured out to 13. Here's the negative numbers measured out to 13. And then we have the alien race numbers measured out to 13. And what you kind of notice is all these numbers, if they were drawn to scale, if I drew the 13s in the right places, they would all be the same distances. They wouldn't change. From the black hole, they're all the same. It makes no difference. So all absolute value is if we have the absolute value of star 13 or the absolute value of moon 13 or the absolute value of that funny looking alien race 13, right? They all are just going to convert it to our number system so that we can read them. So they're all just positive 13. Right? This is just for us. This is just for humans to read it. So they all turn into just positive 13. Now, truth is, none of these really that we know of exist, or we don't really care about it right now. So the only part that might be confusing is this negative 13, which also, the absolute value of also equals 13. It makes no difference. It's all just 13.